Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Now in this video I wanted to concentrate more on becoming a US citizen and specifically the process of naturalization. The reason why I'm doing this is because I got a lot of questions regarding the overall process. Now I do have a very detailed video on how to apply for the naturalization, specifically the very first application that you submit. Now this is not the whole process, it is only a part of it, but that's definitely a start. So in this video I wanted to give you kind of an overall picture of the naturalization process. Where does it start, what does it involve, and of course, you know, the very final stage, because there are a few different stages to it. So let's start from the very beginning. The information, all of the information that I give you in this video, everything goes directly from uscis.gov. Now this is the official website for US Citizenship and Immigration Services, and I highly recommend all of your information, whatever you're looking for. If you're doing your research on your immigration case, get that information directly from uscis.gov. All right. Now I am not in any way an immigration attorney or a lawyer or anything like that. This is literally just the information from the website. You can find it all yourself, uscis.gov. And as you can see right now on the very front of the page, they actually do have become a US citizen. Interestingly, they didn't have that a couple of days ago. I was checking. But all the information you can find here. All you really need to do is click on the citizenship. They have a tab specifically for it. Now, whenever it comes to the requirements, qualifications, obviously you can find them here as well, but I will give them. There are different ones. Obviously out there, there are a few ways to become naturalized. One of the ways, if you do have one of the parents who is U.S. citizen, obviously being born in the United States of America automatically makes you a citizen. If you were married to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for naturalization. Or if you have held your residency for 5 years or longer, you can apply for naturalization. Yes, now all of these requirements, like I said, you can find on these pages here. Learn about the citizenship. This kind of answers you, kind of gives you the steps and describes the process, which I will do in this video. But one of the very important documents that I want you to download and kind of read through it is the application instructions. Now the application is N-400. This is the application. Now luckily now you can apply online, which saves a lot of time. You can still file a paper application, but I highly recommend applying online, because what it does is once you click submit and then make a payment for your application is instantly delivered to the processing center. Unlike the paper application, which you have to fill out, you have to mail it, and then they receive it, and then they have to go through the whole application, make sure that everything is filled out correctly, and then they accept it, and then they give you the receipt that they received the application. All of this is eliminated by filing the application online. It's very simple. All you really need to do is click on the file online. This will bring you to the creating the online account for your citizenship and immigration case, right? So just create an account and file it online. But for purposes of this video, we will stick to the PDF files which you would use to file the paper. So one of the things, whether you're filing it online or if you're filing it in paper, one of the things that you will need regardless is the instructions for the N-400. This is definitely a must-have. And before even doing anything, I highly recommend you reading through this whole document. It's really not that much, only about it's actually 18 pages. Just read through the whole thing and it will give you everything, all of the instructions, really. That's that's what they are. But specifically, like the requirements, you will be able to make sure that you definitely do qualify. Like for example, one of the things that a lot of people do not know, for example, if you are filing for naturalization based on being a resident for 5 years, here's a cool, really like small thing that a lot of people do not know. You do not need to wait the full 5 years. You only need to wait for 4 years and 9 months. Yes, you can file 3 months earlier. Pretty cool. So that kind of like saves you time a little bit. But to give you the overall, which is the goal of this video, to give you the overall process and steps that are involved in your naturalization. Basically, you go through the instruction, you familiarize yourself with all of this, you fill out the application, whether in paper or online, which I highly recommend doing it online because it saves a lot of time and unnecessary mistakes too. You provide whatever documents that are necessary. Online, you will be able to upload those additional documents that are required, and everything that is needed, all the documents that are needed, you can find them in the instructions, or you can find them here on this page, which is uscis.gov/n-400. And if you scroll down, you will find checklist of required initial evidence. And here are some of the evidence that might be required. Now, the permanent residence card will definitely be required. Copy of your marriage certificate if you were married or if you are married. 2 passport style photographs, which you most likely will have to mail by mail because they're gonna need that. But you can find all of this here on this page. So once you file the application, once it is received, once it is processed, you will be scheduled your biometrics appointment. By now, you've probably done several of those if you have been in any other immigration cases before that. Biometrics appointment is where you go to an application center nearby. They are located around the country, so you just go to an application center. They'll take a picture of you, they will take your fingerprints, and because you're applying for naturalization, they will also give you the booklet, which will allow you to prepare for your civics test. Yes, the civics test. Now, after all of that is done, this is where it might take some time. It might take, depending on where you live, depending on how busy your local field office, your immigration field office is, it might take up to a year, even year and a half. I've heard of some cases where it takes year and a half, where people wait for that interview. All right. Now, once you file everything, you will be given a receipt number, which you will be able to enter. Again, uscis.gov, and let's see, they did some changes here and there. Where is our check case status? Right here, check your case status, and the link for that is case status egov.uscis.gov/case status/lending.do. So do. This is where you will be able to enter your receipt number, and it will give you the status. Once your interview will be scheduled, it will tell you in the status that your interview has been scheduled, and you will receive a paper notice of your interview in your local field office. All right, so whenever it comes to the interview for naturalization, this is where you will be bringing in a lot of stuff. All right, and with your notice you will get the instruction of what you will need to bring, and basically we're talking about all of your documents like residence card, your passport from your old country, your tax returns, pictures, marriage certificate if you have been married, if you're divorced, all of the divorce papers, if you have kids and if you're paying alimony, all of the receipts for the alimony. Basically the purpose of this interview, right? If I put it like that, maybe it will make it easier for you. The purpose of this interview is to establish that while you have been a resident here in the United States of America, you have been a good guy or a girl, right? Uh, no trouble, no cheating on taxes, no not paying child support, no felonies, no nothing like this. All right. Obviously, for felonies, that's one of the reasons why they're doing the background check. But you get the point. To make sure that you have been good all this time and you didn't cause any trouble, any problems for anyone. Now, the interview, it is done in your local field office. Depending on where you live, you might travel a little bit further. Some areas, some cities, they don't have the field offices yet, some smaller cities. So you might need to travel to your nearby bigger city where they have a field office. But it's going to be one-on-one interview. It's going to be recorded. There will be a camera, just like a web camera, that is going to be pointed at you. Basically the questions will be stuff like, how are you here? What are the reasons? How did you get your residence? Why are you applying for? Why you want to be a citizen? If there are any specific things to your cases, like for example marriage, divorce, whatever, there will be questions about that. Definitely. Again, if there are children involved, are you paying child support? Whatever. How often you see children and stuff like that. Just basic general questions. The interview might last somewhere probably between 30 minutes and maybe even up to an hour if there are some questions. Some of the things that you might be prepared for is if you have traveled outside of the United States during your being resident. There's going to be some questions about that. Why have you traveled outside of the United States? And if you have been outside of the United States for prolonged times during your residency, that's going to be some questions too. They will ask you why you traveled so far. But once you answer all of the questions successfully, once you sign everything, you will see on your paper application, there is a space where you sign during the interview. So you send it without signing it. Obviously online you're doing it, you're not signing anything. But once you are during the interview, the immigration officer will give you that portion to sign, all right, that you were present during the interview. And once you're done with the interview, that's where the civics tests start. It's going to be the same thing. It's just a verbal thing. The immigration officer, he or she will ask you just the questions from that booklet, all right? So if you read through the whole booklet several times, if you kind of try to memorize the answers, right? If you do some research a little bit, that's it. That's really all you need. There's not going to be anything outside of the booklet, and the questions, honestly, most of the times are very simple. You know, who was the 45th president of the United States of America? Who was the first president? What do the stars on the American flag represent? What is the name of the national anthem? Stuff like that, right? Very basic, very simple stuff that everybody should know. So nothing too complicated. And there's going to be 10 questions. As long as you answer 6 out of 10 correctly, you're good. And if you answer 6 in a row correctly, not in a row, but before reaching the number 10, if you answer 6 correctly, the immigration officer will just say, you know what, that's it. You're good. You're good. That's it. Congratulations, you passed the civics test. And that's really it. That's really it. After that, after you're done with the interview and the civics test, that's where things start moving a little bit faster. Probably about, I would say, about a month, and you will be scheduled your naturalization ceremony. This is the very, very final stage, one of the most important days for you in your immigration process in general. What it is just a formal ceremony where obviously dress formal, you know, suit and tie. Usually they are handled in courts, so you will go to court because there will be a judge present, and the judge will be handing out those naturalization certificates, right? Now, all of the naturalization certificates for everyone, and I say everyone because there will be other people besides you who are getting their certificates, and usually it's about 20 people total that show up for that ceremony. So you show up to that court, and there are about 20 other people, and really all that's happening is there will be some people invited to sing the national anthem, to pledge allegiance to the flag, and then hand out the call you by your name and hand out the naturalization certificates, which is your official document that now states that you are a citizen of the United States of America. Congratulations. And with that document, you can go and get your IDs updated or whatever, get a US passport if you need to, and stuff like that. So pretty straightforward, several different stages involved. If you do have any additional questions or you want me to concentrate specifically on any of these involved stages, let me know in the comments below, and I get a lot of comments, so if I miss your question or a comment, I'm very sorry. I do get a lot of questions. I try to address all of them, but sometimes I just either don't have time or just miss them because there's so much. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.